Finally tonight, comfort food and kick back while you're having it. JoJo's an easygoing joint and their jerk chicken among the best around.
People try to go way off scale to try and be gourmet or fancy, but bottom line is Jamaicans love their core food.
Pit of goodness, jerk that's ready all the time. JoJo's nailing niceness for 10 years. A farmer's market expanded to include a jerk joint. The market now closed, but JoJo's thriving on its reputation for slow-cooked meats. JoJo's winning and later the venue for the Jack Daniels barbecue competition, also helping to boost its brand. But getting it right, a learning process.
What does a Chinese woman know about jerk? Well, I'm a Jamaican, let me tell you that first and foremost. So I know about food, I love my food. So when we started, we would put the pork on, and of course you put it on the sweet wood, and you would taste it. And after an hour, you taste it and say, this doesn't taste right. Then after another hour again, you go, this don't quite taste right. But after 3 hours on the fire, when the smoke is smoldering and the smoke is penetrating the meat, and which a lot of people don't even understand is that when the meat is red on the outside, because those are smoke rings, so a lot of people look at it and say it's raw, but it's not, it's actually smoking. So it's the smoking effect that when you diffuse by the flames on the bottom, you have the wood on the top, and then you have the meat on top of that, which diffuses the heat, and 3.5 hours for pork. It's 2.5 for chicken and 3.5 for pork, and that's when the flavors really come in. And the wood that you have it on, actually, you turn the wood, and the flavor from the wood touching the meat as well is part of what adds the flavor.
Some folks preferring their jerk on the dry side. JoJo's the opposite. It's all about moist and tender. Time management, the key ingredient.
If you don't manage the product throughout the day on an hourly basis, if you put on too much in the morning and you have all of that to sell, then you're going to have all of that that's going to be dried up by 5 o'clock. So we rolling off of the fire every 3 hours. We try and roll product off. So we put on 4 and we put on 3, and you manage it like that. And sometimes you come here and we're sold out at 4 o'clock in the afternoon because we can't really anticipate how much we're going to sell. So we have to try and manage it, and if it run out, and then it's another 2.5 hours for chicken, another 3.5 hours for pork. So
far, so good.
One thing I have been told is that my food is consistent. And it's very difficult to manage because you have staff, but we have our formulas and we have our recipes. We have a recipe that we blend. We put together all our stuff is natural, fresh made jerk seasoning that we do ourselves. And one other thing is you have to marinate for at least 2.5 days so that it really soaks in. Sometimes I have to tell you we have problems with delivery of product and we don't get it in time and we have to be rushing to get it off, and we're not happy about that. But if we can follow the methods that we have, which keeps us consistent, which is the formula of our sauces, the length of time that we cook, because as I said, it's 3.5 hours for pork, not 3 hours. After 3 hours, when you test the pork, the flavor is there, but it still bounces back at you a little bit. And then if you do it for that extra half an hour, it just tenderizes it that much, little more. So I keep saying to them, don't rush it. If it's not ready, it is not ready. If the customer wants to complain that we don't have any, let them complain, but I'm not serving it unless it's done for 3.5 hours. Some people want it dry, but we don't do dry. I mean, because some people think smoking is drying out a product till it's like cardboard, but we don't do that there. It's moist, there's juices in it. It's juicy, but not bloody, but it's juicy. And if you keep it coming off of the fire on stages, then you won't have a product that's been sitting there for hours waiting to be sold.
Jerk lamb, jerk fish, jerk shrimp, even jerk calamari, alternatives to pork and chicken. And lots more, but always a consistent method.
Everything about us is low and slow. Even our curry goat that we don't pressure. We don't pressure our curry goat, we don't pressure our oxtail. It is low and slow.
What's the key to, staying competitive in this kind of market where the food scene has kind of exploded in Jamaica? There's so much on offer. Everybody's bringing something to the plate and people like to try something new.
What you have to understand is you have to know who you are and what you're about. There are all kinds of fine dining and gourmet styles of things that are out there. What are we about? Our slogan is, come feel Jamaica, taste Jamaica. So what is JoJo's about? It's about coming to feel Jamaica and tasting Jamaica. So what is Jamaica? Jamaica is jerk.
JoJo's featuring live music on Tuesdays and Saturdays. Come as you are. Nothing stuck up about this joint.
I just like being in my shorts and easy. If you're at home and you're hungry and you want something to eat, drag on your flip-flops. Come on out. We got good food for you to eat and at reasonable prices, so why not?
Why not indeed? That's JoJo's Jerk Pit. Had the curry goat, but that's only because they ran out of their signature jerk chicken.